Stream
Oh.
Oh, live.
Did it say we're live now?
Yeah, look at my face. 15 seconds. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, but the screen's frozen, but we don't know if it's frozen for them.
I don't know.
I'm guessing if it's frozen on our end, it's frozen on their end.
They look terrified.
Good stream is healthy. Stream is excellent. No day. Oh, it says that it's excellent.
I hope
But I
that's
thought it
not
would-
the picture that's up there.
But I thought it would come up and... Oh, okay. Up here. 0 watching. That's good.
But, like, what do we do with this picture?
I don't think... I guess we don't have to do anything with the picture. Because... I don't know.
Is that our thumbnail?
I hope not.
Oh, there's... This is interesting.
Oh, it says 2 are watching.
We're not really sure what we're doing, guys, if you're there.
Yeah, so... It shows on our side of the screen that our video is frozen. We're not sure if anybody is actually seeing us or hearing us at this moment. It says that we have 5 people watching, though. If anybody can hear us, could you just type in a comment that you can hear or see us, whichever. And then hear or see us.
Epic fail.
Should I refresh the screen? I'm afraid to refresh the screen.
I think it's refreshing itself. Ah,
Oh, wait.
not frozen.
Hear and see you fine. Oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Okay, well, good. Well, on our end, it looks completely frozen, and there's nothing that actually says that everything is working smoothly or not. So, okay.
Now we see a bunch of comments.
But now we're getting comments, so that's good. I'll leave Sabrina in charge of comments. And today's video, other than the fact that it's our very first live event.
Oh my gosh, it's not that dramatic.
Too dramatic. Not event. Our live broadcast?
Sure, if you want that.
Even that's still too dramatic. So Sabrina and I, we've been living in the motorhome for, I don't even know where to look. So Sabrina and I have been living in the motorhome now for over 2 months. And we thought we would just sit down and discuss what we like about living in the motorhome and what we dislike about living in the motorhome. I'm going to take, you guys could probably guess, the likes. Sabrina will read the dislikes. Because there's actually nothing, well, I wouldn't say that there's nothing I don't dislike.
That you don't dislike?
I can say that. So I wouldn't say that there's things that I dislike. But in a sense there are, but they're not horrible dislikes. So one of the likes is the change of scenery. So every couple weeks or every couple days, we get a completely new environment. And I think that has been fabulous, especially for, you probably can't see her, but Belle's over here. And we're able to take Belle out on new walks. Every area, you know, she just experiences everything through her nose. So the senses for her, everything has been wonderful that way.
Somehow she keeps ending up at the vet, though, and injured.
Yeah, she's a mess.
I don't know.
She's a mess.
What's wrong with her?
Another like is that we never have to unpack. Everywhere that we go, we have everything with us. In fact, we were going to the Winnebago rally or coming back from the Winnebago rally, and Sabrina was like, oh, I think the weather is about to change. I should have packed my jeans. And I was like, we have everything. Sabrina and I really went extreme with this. We have nothing in storage or anywhere. Everything we own is in the motorhome and in our C-Max. Everything. We sold, donated, or just gave away everything else. So everything we own is here. So there's no more packing or unpacking or even worried that you leave something behind. Like when you go to check in a hotel and when you leave, you're like, oh, I forgot my tooth. Everything. We got everything. You want to read a dislike?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You seem to be doing a great job.
We always feel at home wherever we are because we are always home wherever we park. I do like being self-contained while traveling. So if we're driving and it's a long trip and we got to break it up within a few days, we can literally almost park anywhere. You can't park anywhere legally, but for the most part, we can park at a rest area, truck stop, gas station.
There's no way he can edit this out now. The looks on my face.
Yeah, Sabrina doesn't care for that part of it as much as I do. I like the fact that while we're traveling along, anytime we want to take a stop or break, we can just, all right, let's stop here and set it up. Sabrina doesn't like it because of the slides being in. I think she feels a little enclosed maybe. Not for one night, but if we're traveling, like when we went to Ohio, Iowa, what did it take, 3 days to get back? But Sabrina's kind of finicky. So on the first day, she's like, oh, we need something smaller so that I can help driving. And then like the second day or third day, she's like, we need something larger so I don't feel so cramped. So overall, though, happy with the size of the Winnebago, the 27N?
Yeah. I think I do go through the phases where I want something a little bit smaller because I'm kind of useless when it comes to driving. So I do feel like that sometimes, but day 3, I turn into a bear. It's not pretty. I go to bed okay, and I wake up in the morning like, roar.
Yeah, you're ready to get somewhere.
It's not pretty.
And set up camp. There's a huge difference from, traveling with all the slides in compared to when you get to your final destination, you open up all the slides, then you feel like you're at home. You're really set up. You got your full hookups, if you got your water, electric, even you don't even necessarily need the full hookups, but we've learned through our likes and dislikes that we like full hookups. I know there's a lot of people out there that love the boondocking experience and are able to do it for years.
Kenny wants to survive, so there's not too much of that.
I really like the full hookups. I'm a big fan of the full hookups. When we're at full hookups, there's no difference being in here than being in our apartment.
I agree.
I don't know. I have a question for people. I can't read the comments. My vision's not all that great. Now I forget.
But I can't see if anyone's really commenting beyond the first set of comments because nothing's moving. So sorry guys, it's our first
time. It's all
time.
frozen.
Yeah.
Well, that's not cool.
Yeah.
How do we fix that?
Verizon MiFi, guys.
We can't tell if you guys are writing. We see an initial set of comments and then it looks like everything froze up. But I was going to ask, did anybody... I tried to set up an alert so that it sent everybody like an hour ahead of time or 2 hours ahead of time. But we don't know if it went through. So self-being contained. Really like meeting new people. Especially this Winnebago trip when we met a lot of people because everybody that we met had a motorhome. Or at the campgrounds. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's updating now. So, yeah, we see this road glass
We're
traveled.
glampers too, yeah.
So, it was cool going to the Winnebago rally because you meet so many, or at campgrounds too, when we meet these people at the campgrounds, we don't feel so crazy because everybody has that like-minded interest. So we really enjoy being at campgrounds and at the rallies and even the shows are really cool that way because you meet other people that have that same interest, that want to be, not so much, we don't camp. We're not camping. They said it, glamping. But
I ran away from a leaf the other day. I thought it was a bug.
She thought it was a giant bug. Sabrina and I are funny that way too about the RV life. I mean, I have a little bit of camping experience, but Sabrina has none. And we don't like bugs. We're outdoors people, but we don't like other things being outdoors with us. We don't like the ick factor sometimes. Exploring new areas and campgrounds, I think that's kind of covered with the change of scenery. I mean, we definitely like to explore the new towns. Well, change of scenery maybe is a little different because we like visiting new small towns, going through the small towns and seeing what they have to offer. Every small town is pretty unique. Their style and the architect is unique. Sometimes the foods are unique to that area. And the people are definitely unique. People are different everywhere. I don't know, we meet strange people everywhere, but they're all a little strange differently.
We're strange, though.
We're strange too, though, so it works. Iowa, so far, is still my number one place that we've been to as friendliest people, I think. Sure. Do you want to throw in a dislike?
So I see a note. Sabrina, you could so drive that rig. Yeah, I gave it another try on the way back on our last trip, and we ended up switching at a toll booth when we were stopped behind some other cars. It was special. It was special.
She got 25 minutes into the drive, and then we switched.
I got out of the seat, and he's like, "This seat is so hot! Oh my goodness!"
It felt like a heated seat.
It was rough. It was rough for me. But.
She did do the class with the Women on Wheels at Winnebago, and it went great. But I think it's just the highway. You have to get used to the vehicle. As small as it is, it's still just as wide as any other one. As big as a 40-footer. So it takes up the entire lane. Like you're on both of those white lines. So if you just a little to the left or a little to the right, you're over that line, and then you try to compensate.
Then you're on the shoulder, and it's just not pretty.
So it definitely takes some getting used to. But driving the RV is actually one of my likes. But it is one of Sabrina's dislikes. Oh yeah, that was the next one. Exploring new areas, campgrounds, and then driving the motorhome, and I got it under Kenny. The freedom to be able to pick up and move quickly if we're not happy with an area that we're in, which we've done before. I think one of the things that we mentioned in our concerns of moving into an RV was what do we, safety-wise and things like that. So I think once or twice we've been at a gas station and we were like, this seems sketch.
Deuces.
Yeah, it seems sketch. So, literally we just started up and roll out of there. I think we got gas and left. I think that was it. We were like, we can't stay here. We won't live the night. So this one's, ability to cook all of your meals at home, giving you the possibility or the potential to eat
a lot of stipulations.
To eat better. Thoughts on a Toad? I love having the Toad car.
Definitely.
We use it everywhere we go.
The other thing you consider is rentals. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, but Uber is a big deal right now. Of course, taxis and rental cars. It really depends on how much, I guess, exploring you want to do in the area. Like I said, Uber and Lyft, though, right now, I would imagine, you don't have to carry the insurance. You're not paying the gas. You're not taking the stress of getting lost. I mean, you're with somebody that's from that area.
Sorry. I always interrupt, guys. You guys just don't see that usually with the editing. But with that, you have to be in a city where there's decent Uber. Like, you might be someplace far away that there's not decent Uber. But definitely having the car, I think.
Go ahead. We love having our car. It's it just opens up a little bit more freedom for us. And the Uber wouldn't work for us. The taxis wouldn't work for us because of Belle. She's not allowed in a taxi. She's not allowed in a Uber car. I think they're just starting to let certain dogs or something like that in some of these cars. But
she's not one of them that can go in somebody else's car. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She would probably just growl and bark at the person in the car, even though it's their car.
Yeah. So for us, it's got to be with our own car with Belle. I don't know. It's really up to the person, obviously, but we definitely get a lot of use out of our towed vehicle.
Yeah.
It's not that much more difficult. Sorry.
We're doing it again.
It's not that much more difficult to tow the car. The motorhome itself strains nothing at all. I mean, it doesn't even know it's back there. So, I don't know. You just got to be careful switching lanes to remember that you have that extra.
Nice.
No. Uber will not allow Rottweilers. I'm pretty sure they won't, because they won't let Belle in.
Yeah.
So
RV Habit just got a Jeep for a future Toad. That's what Kenny wanted.
Yeah,
he got a C-Max.
I got a C-Max instead, but Jeep is the number one tow. It's got to be the number one towed vehicle. It's got to be the easiest vehicle to tow. You don't need to leave the key in the ignition. You pull the key out completely, so there's no battery drain. You can put the transfer case in neutral, and you're pretty much ready to go with. And then your brake system. It's it's a great vehicle for the summer and the winter. It goes anywhere in the summer, or it goes anywhere in the winter time. And you take the roof off in the summer, and you got a convertible. I think the Jeep. In my opinion, I think the Jeep is the best tow vehicle.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, but we already had the C-Max, and it was already a tow vehicle. It was able to be towed flat down, so we just rolled with it. That's a good one.
Okay. Can't edit that out either.
I can't edit any of my bad jokes out. We usually edit all my bad jokes out. So the ability to cook at home, potentially eating healthier. It doesn't always work out, but it is nice. it's a good good intention, I guess. Of course, spending more time together. That's one of the things that actually drove us to live this lifestyle, so that we could spend more time together. And you definitely have to like each other because it's a small area. I've heard other couples in RV say the same thing. Definitely need to get along. Sorry, didn't mean to bang the table. We got a mic sitting here on the table.
Yvonne, watching with
Jason. Hey, Nikki. Haven't seen you guys in a while, right?
Yeah, in real life.
Well, we've seen Yvonne, but we haven't seen Jason or Nikki in a long time. So I'm gonna let Sabrina read some of the dislikes.
There aren't that many, so a couple dislikes. Definitely looking for areas to dump. So
Tim, sorry.
So one, looking for areas to dump. So that's definitely a dislike. Is that sometimes when you know you're going to be a while without dumping your gray tank, you're kind of like really showering really quick, and okay, yeah, I would like to shower today, but you have to do it really quick because you know that it's going to be a problem. So that's an issue. Other things, water, bargaining with your water. This is why we're full hookup people, because we don't like bargaining with our water.
Well, and just finding water sometimes.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's not super difficult to find water, but like Sabrina said, you got to kind of be conscious about it when you're especially when you're traveling from location to location. And sometimes we do long distance location like that Iowa trip that's 3 days. It's easy to ration the water, but it's not fun to ration the water.
It's definitely not.
Yeah, you can absolutely do it. We've done 6-7 days now without dumping our tanks. So it's, obviously it's possible, but that really depends on the motorhome that you have. And that was one of the reasons for going with this motorhome. It's got 64 gallons water, fresh water, and we can add another 20 to 25, I think 25 more gallons, because our dump tanks, or our waste tanks, holding tanks, I knew it, holding tanks hold 100 combined between our black and our gray. We can hold 100.
So we just send Belle to go drink out of puddles because we're like, oh, we can't sacrifice the water for the little one.
Yeah. So finding water, looking for your dump stations.
Using laundramats instead of, if you have, we didn't have laundry actually in our apartment when we lived there. It was in the building, but it was free and in the building, and you could use it anytime. It was on each floor. Every
floor had it.
And so now actually Googling and figuring out where a laundromat is, and sometimes you go to the laundromat and it's not the nicest laundromat. We were in 4 inches of water at one of them.
That was in Iowa.
Yeah. 4 inches, inches of water on the floor. 3/4 of the machines were out of service. You were afraid to even drop anything for a second. Mm-hmm. So,
but this one's the one that we're at now at this campground. That's the nicest laundromat I've ever seen. You could sit and have lunch in this laundromat.
Maybe you could sit and have lunch in this laundromat.
Nice. Tim wants to know if you're going to get that solo rock.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a huge bike person.
Yeah.
It's been tempting me because I see him just frolicking around outside on his bike. It's tempting, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see. And then I think the last thing that's a dislike about it is just saying goodbye to people we meet. So when we travel and we meet all those fun, cool people that Kenny mentioned, when we have to go, it's like, oh my gosh, I miss having friends around that we go places and do things with, and that's kind of nice. So that's a dislike too, having to actually move on.
That's what I said to Matt when we went up and met with Matt and Maria at the Winnebago route. We had such a great time with them, but it was kind of sad to say goodbye to them because we were having almost too much fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great. You know, we would have never met them without it, but we would never have to say goodbye without it either.
Or that bartender I liked the other day.
Oh, yeah. We're at a bar. Sabrina's like, oh, I wonder if the bartender could travel with us. She's nice. She's the best bartender ever.
She was just really nice. What can I say? I was like, it's not sketch like people may think. I really liked her.
How about anybody out here? Does anybody have things to add that maybe they like or dislike about the motorhome lifestyle?
Or questions about?
Or questions maybe
After
about?
just our whole 2 months of experience?
Yeah. We figured we'd do like 15, 20 minutes on this, so we're at the 20-minute mark. We're okay to... I know a couple more people are starting to pop in now, but... No more likes, no more dislikes. That was everything on my list. So our likes... Oh. Our likes definitely outweigh our dislikes.
Can you tell Kenny made the list?
If that's true, if Sabrina would have made the list, it would have been probably reversed. But, nah.
It takes too long to get out of it.
Yeah. You know what? We're really slow in the morning to get ready, right? Like at the Winnebago rally, there were a few times that Matt would like knock on the door and be like, Matt, we're not even showered yet. We're just getting up. Well, we would be up for a little while. We just moved. I don't know. We were kind of lazy on that rally trip.
I agree. Pamela says, Sabrina, you need to invite a sister or a cousin or a friend to travel with you for a while.
We are.
Interestingly enough, my niece is actually going to meet us. We're going to Toronto in a few weeks. And my niece is actually going to meet us coming from Seattle and going to meet us there. She doesn't know she's staying in an RV yet. She probably thinks she's staying in like the 44th floor of a hotel. She has no idea what she's in for.
But that'll be interesting for us, too, because we'll be crossing the border for the first time to going into Canada, which we hear is pretty easy in a motorhome. It doesn't...
Rob wants to know how you play Summoner's War when you're driving. He can't do any battles.
He can't do anything while driving a motorhome but drive the motorhome. It can be intense to drive the motorhome.
No video games.
No video games while driving.
That's why he keeps ending up behind.
Yeah. Rob. I've been friends with Rob for over 30 years. 8th grade, I think. Yeah, something like that. Long time. Let's see. Papa Bell says you are going to break the arm of that chair. Arm of that chair. I think it's already broke, Papa Bell. I can't really see what you guys are seeing. Oh yeah, Rogue Less Traveled said, you know, if you carry bikes, you can get pretty far. I mean, I can't get very far on a bike, but there's some people that can do 20 miles and be enough. I think the longest I've done so far is 8 miles on the Solo Rock, which I was never intending that Solo Rock bike, folding bike, to be able to do 8 miles. I thought literally I just coast around the campground or something like that, but that's pretty good 8 miles, I thought. All right. Well.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Rogue Less Traveled.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you know what? When we first started doing the videos, I think it was like one of the first or second videos that we did, and we watched it back before, obviously when we edited it and put it on the channel, we were like, I don't know, are we laughing at ourselves? Are people going to watch this? Yeah, because we're crazy? Are people going to watch our channel and then laugh at us or laugh with us? So we're still not even sure about that one. But I know when we watch our videos, we're I don't know, we're just goofy and we just kind of laugh. I laugh at almost everything. Like, almost, you not so much.
What? How does your extended family feel about you guys going full-time? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. My sister-in-law is on right now. She might be able to answer that. I know not everybody is thrilled.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Not everybody is thrilled with the idea of us full-timing. They feel with us full-timing that they won't be able to see us as much and as often because, we'll always be maybe somewhere new. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, we have the ability to pick up and move closer to people for special events. We're going to go visit my brother Scott for his 40th birthday. So
My family thinks I'm absolutely insane.
yeah, we're going up to Toronto to visit some of your family. So
yeah, but I don't think they know that I'm in an RV.
They don't?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But they think I'm actually absolutely insane. So one thing I know that comes up all the time is, why would you do that? That's for like, what? Why would you do that? People don't move into like travel trailers and motorhomes. They actually get houses and they settle down. And I'm like, in my mind, if I ever have to use the word settle for anything, I don't want it. So if you're talking about settling down or settling, I don't want any part of it. So some family members gave me 4 weeks. I have others that have given me 6 months. And being the stubborn person that I am, even if it was driving me insane, I would make it past when they thought I would. So that's just me. That's just the person I am. But
we feel too that it was kind of worth trying out, because we've heard other people say this too, that Scott says that's not enough, but you know, we've heard other people say too, you know, you try it out, and if it doesn't work out, then you just go back to living the way you did before, and at least you tried it out.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing too, is I just keep saying why not. That's my biggest thing, is why not. And
why not try it? It's not like we had a house and we sold a house. That might have been a little bit more dramatic. I mean, we just had an apartment before we lived here, so our lease was up in the apartment. We're like, let's move into a motorhome. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just.
But we did do a lot of research before we did that. That sounds terrible that we just woke up. But we did research it for over a year before we actually jumped into it. There was a lot of stuff for us to get organized and get in place before we just we didn't just let our lease end and jump into a motorhome.
Sometimes I'd think, it's like, now what I do with most people, like if they're not close to me or anything like that, or they're like, oh, where do you usually live, or where's your home base? And they don't know I'm in a motorhome. Most of the time I'll just say, oh, you know, Florida or Virginia, and just leave it at that. Because people don't usually ask many follow-up questions, but as soon as you say, actually, I live in a motorhome and my home is actually 10 minutes down the street right now, then you get a ton of questions. So I just leave it as, I pick a state, usually Florida or Virginia.
I've been saying Florida recently.
And then nobody in Iowa is asking much about where you were in Florida, because they don't really know. So it just leaves it alone. What made you guys get into this anyway?
I think we did a little bit of a video on it before, right? Why we chose to move into an RV.
Yeah,
but
you can talk about it.
You can talk about it.
So I think, or I can talk about it since I'm
going
to interrupt him. So
I can start it.
It started out with, we got enticed by YouTube videos. We started watching Gone with the Winds, and we're like, oh my goodness, this looks so wonderful. They're in different places, doing different things, meeting new people, having all these experiences. And I was like, why aren't we doing something fun like that?
And that was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
That was probably almost 2 years ago. And then we found, you know, more channels doing it. Less Junk, More Journey. We're the Russos. And we were like, not only are these people doing this and, you know, just getting by or making it work, but they're really enjoying it. They look like they were having a lot of fun. And it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun. But, I mean, they weren't just doing it, you know, they all seemed to be doing it for different reasons. And none of them looked like they were absolutely...
Suffering.
Yeah, none of them looked like they were suffering, and none of them seemed crazy. They seemed like normal, average people that just, for whatever reason, decided to live in a different way. And I think we just got inspired by channels like that on YouTube. So that's actually why we make YouTube videos too, is that maybe we'll inspire somebody else to go ahead and just decide to live a little differently.
Yeah, opting out.
I mean, for a little while, we looked at tiny homes and things like that.
They didn't seem as mobile. So.
No, the tiny home we liked. I mean, we were at one point we thought about living in a treehouse.
Yes, Treehouse Masters, loved that even before we started looking at motorhomes. Loved Treehouse Masters.
Sabrina was like, we could live in a treehouse. I don't know. It's
we don't have a tree or a yard to put it in, but we can live in a treehouse. Pamela, have you found that your living expenses have gone down?
I would say they're almost the same.
Yeah, I don't
almost think identical. Yeah.
I don't think they've gone down. So one of the things when we were looking at RVs was trying to find one that when we moved into it, between that and gas and like stays, whatever amount of stays we'd be staying, that it wouldn't be significantly more than the rent we were paying. So that was that kind of influenced our decision as far as like price point for what we were looking for. And yeah, so I don't think expenses have gone down. I don't think they've gone down. It's always scary when you put gas in this thing, but I don't think they've gone down.
Gas is tough in this. It's an 80-gallon tank. We can see them. We can stop by and say hi to Jason and Nikki.
Okay.
Let's see. Rob said, I don't know, Rob, do we got to bring the kids with us too, or is it just the two of you? Hey, Danny and Maggie.
Oh, hey.
We watch your videos. Danny and Maggie, how do I describe... Danny, you describe your own videos because I don't want to mess it up. But we've been watching Danny and Maggie for a long time. Danny does, I don't know, a couple of videos ago he told me they weren't comedy. It wasn't a comedy channel, but I laugh every time I watch his videos. Maybe I'm not supposed to be. He has a very dry sense of humor and a very strange sense of humor.
Danny's like, that wasn't my intention. No.
I can't describe them either. Let's see.
Any other questions while we're here?
Yeah, any other questions? Or you're funny, man. Does anybody else have any questions while we're on here? We'll do a couple more minutes. Right?
I guess that's fine.
I always have to check with Sabrina. I would sit here in front of the camera and just smile at you for the next hour.
They want content. They don't just want to look at you.
Nobody wants that. I wrote, we already went through our whole list. That's not bad for dislikes. 1, 2, 3, 4 dislikes. And they're not really all that disliking. Laundramats, saying goodbye to people, finding water.
He came up with them.
Well, go ahead. You give me one of your dislikes. What's a real, honest Sabrina dislike?
A real, honest Sabrina dislike.
Other than me.
No, of course not. This shower's a little tight. So, it's actually a bigger shower for the small RV that it is. But sometimes, in the beginning, the first few days, I was like, listen, if my elbows hit this wall one more time, I'm about to come out of here and scream. I'm sick and tired of my elbows bumping into this wall.
And we actually do have a decent sized shower. I don't have that same problem. My arm, Sabrina's taller than I am, I guess, with longer arms, but I'm wider than you a little bit.
My sister said missing link. That wasn't very nice.
That wasn't very nice. But I seem to shower just fine in there. Showering in the motorhome is completely different than showering at home, though. Like, when you shower in a motorhome, you're in there for a reason and a mission. You get in there, you shower, you get out, and that's it. When I used to shower in the apartment, I'd just be like, long day.
Yeah, for real, you're decompressing.
You're decompressing. There's no decompressing in the motorhome shower.
So our water heater here is 6-gallon water heater here. And we don't finish the water between the two of us for the hot water when we shower. But when we were at the house, we had a 33-gallon hot water tank. And I would nearly finish it before he started.
Danny and Maggie, where do you think you'll travel next for fun? I guess that would be for Scott's birthday.
Yeah.
Scott's birthday. My brother's birthday. My little brother's turning 40. And we'll be traveling.
My little brother.
My little brother.
So he's the older one.
So we're going to go hang out with them for a very short time. Like, really a short time. Yeah, just a weekend.
Do you always use the motorhome shower, never the campground one? Sometimes we will use the campground one. Actually, I don't mind using the campground one. We did when we were in Iowa. We both used the campground one just to avoid that, like we said, that $25 dump fee. But we both used that one. This one here, we're at a campground in Virginia, and we are in Virginia, right? Yeah, we're in Virginia right now. So we're at a campground in Virginia right now, and there's different sections of the campground, and we opened the first bathroom, and I looked in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I even want to touch the door to get back out of here. So places like this, probably not. Kenny saw like a liquor bottle and a dirty Band-Aid in the bathroom he checked out.
Yeah.
So it depends on the campground, I agree.
And it's a shame, too, because this campground is our favorite campground.
Yeah, the grounds are.
The grounds are. Yeah, it has an awesome laundromat. It's got a great little camp store. Actually, the camp store is pretty big. It's like the size of a 7-Eleven in there. They even make like a little bit of food and stuff like that.
Do they?
Yeah, yeah. All the grounds are nice. The lots are large.
There's patrolling security 24 hours a
There's
day.
security. I mean, the campground itself this has been the best campground that we've been to, but with the worst showers that we've been to. It doesn't affect us too much because we do have the option of, showering in the RV, and there's no problem using the shower in the RV. But you like to wash your hair in the bathhouses though, rather than.
I don't want to clog up. Here's the thing: is I don't want to clog up the RV bathtub because it's not like a regular bathtub, and I'm not sure how you fix that when you clog it. And I don't know. Do you call a plumber? I don't really know. So just to avoid the issue completely, yeah, I'm not washing my hair in here.
Yeah.
And then let's see. RV Habit says he has a corner shower. She has a corner shower. Yeah, we have a corner shower too.
We have a corner shower.
It is tight. I agree with you. It is tight. I guess they tried to make it on the corner so that it opens up more space, but it's still tight. I mean, if he has his mirror for shaving and his razor, I knock that thing down every single time I'm in there. Does the RV have Dynamax to drown the outside noise?
What's that? Rob, I have no idea what Dynamax is. Dynamax.
I have earplugs.
Oh, Dynamax. You know what? It's not that loud up front when we're driving for like the engine noise and stuff like that. The engine noise really isn't that bad. That took me a little while. Sorry. Yeah. When is there is something that's loud that we do when we're. No, it's not. It's really not that bad.
Like they use in cars.
Yeah. Thanks. I figured it out, Rob. I got there. It just takes me a little bit of time.
The road less traveled. Ever think of an instant hot water tank? Too soon, perhaps?
I think it is too soon. To put the money, invest the money into the motorhome.
I think, yeah, this upfront investment was decent, and just the things we've done to it since we've gotten it, I honestly wasn't prepared for the things that we would be like, oh, we quote unquote need first world problems. We need such and such, or we need such and such, and
yeah, we just put a Magna shade on the front for Belle. Belle likes to sit up on the front dash, and it might be like 74, 73 degrees in like the living area, but up on the dash it's getting up to like 115 degrees, and that's where Belle insisted on laying, and we were terrified to leave her in here by herself because we really think that she would just lay on that dash and die, literally, waiting for us to come back. So we just put a Magna shade on the front of the RV. So now the front is the dash is like maybe only 5 degrees. That made a huge difference, actually, that Magna shade. We might have to do a video on that Magna shade. It's awesome.
Bye, Rob. See ya.
All right, Rob. See you later.
We went kind of overtime.
I'll talk to you later. That is me, Tim Rover. That is me.
I could never get that designation. I could never get it.
Even in the apartment, too. I did most of the, like 90% of the cooking. Like, whenever it's Sabrina's turn to cook, we usually do takeout, Tim.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm always moving my hands. I can't help it.
Yeah, we usually do. I don't cook. I don't cook. It's just... I don't. I don't even know what to say.
There's no excuse.
I don't even know what to say. I was reading on Facebook this thing where they were like the 1950s home and what a wife should do, and I was reading this and I was like, damn, if this was 1950, I'd be single. I don't do any of it.
But I enjoy the cooking. I like it. It doesn't bother me. I don't like the cleanup. But that was like one of the reasons why we went with this motorhome too, is the kitchen was a decent size. I like that L shape. It gives me a little bit of working space to make a mess.
Do you guys get your internet from the campgrounds, or do you have something installed in the RV to use internet?
So we have a RV. No.
Oh.
I don't know RV. We do have an RV.
We have a MiFi.
We have a MiFi. I couldn't think of what it was called. So we have a Verizon MiFi, and it's like a mobile hotspot. We could throw it in our backpack. You just lay it on a table. I'm looking for it now.
I think it's up in... We also have a WeBoost for the 4G signal to boost that.
For anybody that doesn't know what a MiFi is or a hotspot, so this is what we use. This is what we use for our internet. So we basically... this one works off of Verizon. We have an unlimited data plan with Verizon. So I don't know what this picture looks like, but I mean, we're at a campground now, and if the picture looks half decent, I guess that's pretty good. I don't know. Danny said, "Sweet, I want one of those." It's great
nice.
for us. It's perfect for us. You know, if you're going to be traveling like this all the time and be, hooked on YouTube like we are. I mean, we really like watching our videos. We can do. We stream Netflix in HD, Hulu. We
Yeah.
don't because we don't have a satellite or
No.
dish or anything like that.
But we don't watch. We didn't watch cable before. We always watched
Yeah,
Netflix,
we never had
Hulu,
cable before.
Amazon Prime, that type of thing. So we never really watched cable before. So it wasn't really a big deal. The one thing with the Verizon Unlimited plan, it does throttle you to 3G after 10 gigs on each device.
For each device, though. So after you're done your 10 gigs on the MiFi and 4G, then you can still use your phone as a hotspot, and then you get another 10 gigs of 4G Lite, and then we can use her phone, and then we can use our tablet. So we've had plenty of internet. Internet hasn't been an issue so far, and we use it a lot. We download our videos. We watch a ton of YouTube. We watch a ton of YouTube.
Do you guys both work from the road? So I travel for work, but I don't work from the road. I'm not actually working from the RV. And Kenny actually sold his business before we left. Could you please give a link later? Sure, we can put the link for the White Noise Android app. Oh, they don't want mine. Oh.
Yeah, Scott, Scott Winters, are you looking for the Android version or the iPhone version? We both have a version on our phone.
It says Android. He's looking for Android.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Never mind.
He said he couldn't see.
I can't see. I'll put it in a link somewhere.
Anyone on here? I don't know about Canadians can do for internet. I know that when I'm up there visiting my brother, he always complains about the fact that he only has like 2 gigs on his phone, and
it must be completely different than our system. I'm not sure.
Will you ever consider moving back into an apartment or a house?
You just said the other day that you do not want to.
I don't want to at this point, but at this point I couldn't see myself considering it. But the thing is that he calls me Weeble Wobbler. So there's a possibility that I may get up one day and say, you know what, actually, I do want to move back into an apartment, or I do want a house. But at this point, I really can't see myself. I can't see myself in one right now.
I think the Weeble Wobble fits this well because you can always pick up and just kind of, because you don't even like being in a town or a city very long.
I really don't. I just get bored too easily with anything. So I said that to him one day a few years ago, and he's like, what about me? I'm like, I always like fresh and new. I get bored of things too easily. He's like, what about me? Let's see here. Oh, do a video on the MagnaShade. Okay.
Sure, we can definitely do. Yeah, we really like it, and I'm kind of funny too. Like, if you ever see a video from us, most likely it's a product that we like. If we bought something we don't like it, you'll probably never see a video.
Kenny said no negativity.
I try to keep there's negativity everywhere, so I don't know. I try to keep the channel as positive as possible. So I don't do reviews of things I don't like. I only do reviews of things I like. But the MagnaShade, we love the MagnaShade. It's easy to install.
I like how you pointed at me. It's my job because he does the other stuff.
I do most of the other stuff. So Sabrina puts the MagnaShade up all by herself. I mean, it's great.
All by myself? You sound like I'm 6 years old. Like, oh, look, Mommy. Now I'm a big kid. Wow.
You do. It's all by yourself. It's nice. I don't know. I see you try to do other things. It doesn't go too well.
Yes, we installed it. We did it together.
Yeah, we did the install ourselves. It was, how long do you think it took us? An hour?
An hour, probably.
It probably took us about an hour to do the install itself. It was not too difficult at all. MagnaShade, we contacted MagnaShade, told them the year and model of our coach. Then they emailed us a form to do like final measuring sizes to make sure it fit exact to our coach.
RV habits like you, only doing reviews of things you like.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel, I don't know, more passionate about stuff I like, I guess, than I dislike. I don't know.
Really? Because I feel very passionate about things I dislike.
I enjoy doing the videos on something I like, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
Barb says, if you had to buy a motorhome now, what would you buy? Larger or smaller or a different class?
Definitely still an A class for me.
Definitely still an A class.
That windshield completely sold us, I think, on the driving experience. Like when you drive the A-Class down the road. For me, anyway. I don't know if it's for you, too. That windshield is amazing. It's like a movie screen, and America is what's playing on it.
With little bugs squished on your windshield.
Well, except for the little bugs on the windshield. But I love that windshield. I love the view that we have out of that windshield. And then when we park, especially now with the MagnaShade, so the way the MagnaShade works is people from outside can't look in, but you can look out. So now we can leave our curtains open.
In the daytime.
And we have our swivel chairs here. I can sit in the swivel chair, drink my coffee, and I got that giant windshield. It's almost like having a bay window. What else about the A-Class I think the windshield really got us, but the features in this coach got us too. The holding tanks, our fresh water,
I
and all that. We got a ton of storage in
this. I get tempted by smaller vehicles all the time. Even though we were talking about me going crazy after having slides in for 3 days in this vehicle, I always think when, we went to the show, and I was like, I think I want a B-van. I want to join this B-van crew.
I can't
And every time we go in there, he's like, we cannot live in a B-van.
Not two of us. I think one person can live in a B-van. I'm sure there's... the Russos are doing it, and they seem fine. But I don't know. I don't think we could. I think they're more disciplined than we are. I don't know. The Russos are on point. They seem to have a strategy and plan for everything. We're kind of... I don't know. I mean, we try to plan stuff and write everything down, but I don't know. I don't see us being in a van. Well, the wet baths in the B-van is a big turnoff for me. I like having the shower and the toilet separate. We did look at a Via.
Yeah.
The Via is considered an A-Class too,
It's
though.
an A-Class, just small.
It's 24
feet.
24 foot.
Or 25
A-Class.
feet or something like that.
So you didn't really answer the question, though.
Oh!
If you did it over again, would you buy bigger, smaller, or go with the same size?
Same. Same. It took me a while to get there, but yeah, the same.
I'm going with the same also. I really like this motorhome. I like everything about it. There's very few things I dislike about the motorhome. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should do a video of likes and dislikes on our motorhome.
Are you making the list again?
I'll make the list again.
Okay, then.
10 likes, 1 dislike.
I could never live in the B class with my hubby and the dog. Yeah.
Yeah, and Belle's too. Yeah, Belle's a little hyper. Leo with the Russos, he's a really mellow dog. He just kind of...
She is always, she's nuts. And then when you're in a space, she's like Velcro. So she always wants to be under your feet. And that's what I won't say I yell at her, but I'm like, why are you under my feet? Under my feet. She just always wants to be under your feet. And
yeah.
Thanks, Scott, but we're Canadian going to the USA. Okay. I could never live in a B class with my hubby and the dog. Yeah, I agree. For full timing, A class is the way to go. That's what I'm leaning towards. I want to be able to help and drive. But I do want to be able to help, even though somebody makes it look like I don't. I want to be able to help.
I like the driving. I could drive. I don't mind driving all day long, as long as you grab me a soda or a sandwich.
That sounds like that 1950s list again.
I know. No, I really do, though. I enjoy the drive. I feel bored in the passenger seat, I think. Although, I could be editing a video or working on something else, I guess, in that passenger seat. But, I don't know. I really like the driver's seat. And we like the view from the A-Class, too, because you sit very high. You're, when the track trailers go by and stuff like that, you're up there right with them. So you really do get a nice view of the road, traffic. You can tell what somebody's about to do before they even do it, usually. So I think it helps with the driving.
Pamela, you'll have to find that list. Maybe I'll find it. I have to find it on Facebook and I'll post it in the comments. I'll get Kenny to post it in the comments. It's a trip. It's fun. I think that's all.
All right, guys. I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Wow. Thanks everybody for watching our videos and subscribing and stuff like that. We really enjoy making these videos and putting them out there. And the comments, I say it all the time, but it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's fun to share what we're doing. Like when we started doing the channel, and we had no subscribers.
We had 13 for a long time.
We had 13 subscribers for a very long time, and we were still making videos and putting them out there just because we enjoyed them.
Yeah, I was like, who are these 13 people? They must be related to us.
They must be, yeah. But it's nice that we make the videos now, and we do get a few hundred views, and sometimes even more, and it's nice making... it's nice knowing that somebody's watching the videos that we're making now. I mean, we enjoy making them either way, but it's nice that people are watching them. Tuna comes on now at the last. Tuna's another friend of mine. He comes on like, yeah, you're late, Tuna. We're about to sign.
He'll find
we're
you
about to
Sumner's
sign
War.
off.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night.
We will definitely stream again, Danny. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this was fun. We'll do it again, and we'll try to give you more. You be safe too, Pamela, and we'll try to give you more notice, maybe a whole day's worth notice or something like that.
Now that we know it actually works.
Now that we almost know what we're doing.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Take care. I don't know how to turn it off. It said something about... Oh, you got to go back to that other screen.